Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Juan the Yarn Addict, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 105 of my podcast where we talk about all things yarn, and I have crochet and knitting to share with you. Today is October 24th, 2025, and I'd like to offer a huge hello and welcome to anyone new or anyone returning to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out today's podcast episode. In this episode, we begin with Coffee Talk. It is the admin portion of the show. From there, we jump into finished objects, also known as FOs. From there, we dive into the WIPs, also known as works in progress. After that, I have a few acquisitions to share with you, and then we're going to get into the replay treats. So I have treats coming in and treats going out. Please stay tuned for that information. And then to round out the podcast episode, I have a few pieces of Happy Mail to share with you. So if any of this is of interest to you, feel free to sit back and enjoy the podcast. Before we begin, please remember to hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already, and then of course share the video. I would definitely appreciate the support. With that, let's jump into Coffee Talk, and as always, the question of the hour, what is on the mug? And today I have the Dragon Tumbler. So nice. This was gifted to me by the late Nana June. I love this mug for sentimental reasons and also because it keeps my coffee hot. So on the inside, we have Dunkin' Donuts hazelnut coffee with caramel macchiato creamer. I talk about it all the time. If you haven't tried it, please do. It's great. All right. So with that, let's jump into Coffee Talk. I have 2 bullet points. Before I jump into that, as always, I like to mention that in the show notes, you will find links to places outside of YouTube where you can find me, including Etsy, Ravelry, Facebook, you name it, it's all in there. I will also include links to things I may talk about. So again, please check the show notes for all the things. All right, so the first bullet point for Coffee Talk is Taco Tuesday. So this past Tuesday, we had Season 3, Week 5. And we had quite a bit go on in that episode. So we have lots of choices. We are 1 week removed from Repeats Week. So this next Taco Tuesday will be Repeats Week. And I wanted to include a few extra cards in the jar. So with that, I'm just going to jump into what these challenges are. And then we'll talk more about the future of Taco Tuesday. So we have a season-long challenge, which is pick a whip, any whip, and have it done by the next Taco Tuesday. And again, that is going to be season long. And I did mention in that Taco Tuesday that for season 4, we will have that continue. So pick a whip, any whip, and have it done by the next Taco Tuesday. It's a really great way to really work through your whips. All right, so we had 3 People's Choice cards. I will announce those. The first one here is a Bowl Cozy. Sandy actually chose that. So Bowl Cozy. Any color, any size, just has to hug a bowl. And then the next People's Choice is a coin purse from Shay. So any yarn, any color, any size, just coin purse. All right. The third one here is gloves, created anyway. Fingerless, mittens, fingered gloves, completely up to you. Any color, any yarn. And this was chosen by Jax, Creations by Jax. So those are the 3. And then in the jar, we picked 2. And the first one here is create a make, any make, in the colors purple and pink. So just those 2 colors, no other colors. And then finally, we have create a make only using scrap yarns. So lots of choices. Again, I decided to go with many options because, again, we are 1 week removed from Repeats Week. So when Repeat Week happens, what we do is we dig in the jar and we only pick from the jar. These are all the projects from the past weeks, and there's quite a bit in the jar. I'm very excited to say. Now, as far as the future of Taco Tuesday is concerned, clearly we're going to have a season 4, but for season 4, I'm going to minimize the amount of choices only because the holidays are coming up and the last thing that we want is to have extra things on the hook. Now, I will put a poll out there asking everyone how many we should have per week. I don't want to flood the pipeline with too many challenges, but I also want to keep this out there for those who have, you know, lots of whips on the hook or on the needles and you just want a quick make in between. Also too, I think having these challenges would make really great gift options. That could actually be a challenge, who knows? So anyway, stay tuned for more information regarding Taco Tuesday. So there we have that. All right. So the next bullet point for Coffee Talk is a tutorial slash pattern drop. So just a few days ago, I released another blanket, and it is called the Rhythm of Resilience. I do have a pattern on Ravelry. It is there. This is the blanket, Rhythm of Resilience. It's really, really nice. And here is another image of the blanket. Super, super nice. And as of right now, it is literally the only pattern and creation that I have in pinks. Even the pattern is in pink. It's all over the place. I love that for us. So anyway, it's a beautiful pattern. It's my take on the shell and V's. For this pattern, I use different size V stitches, and my shells are constructed using different stitches. It's really, really nice. It's got a great cadence to it, a nice rhythm to it. So yeah, I'll give you a close-up of that again. So I have tutorials on my channel for both left and right-handed crocheters. Feel free to check out that. And if you are in need of a written pattern, you can find this on Ravelry. All right, and the Ravelry is Juan the Yarn Addict. So there is that. All right, we're going to jump into not works in progress. We're going to jump into finished objects. So as mentioned in my last video where I discussed my projects, I'm going to showcase this yet again. This is a finished object for my mother, actually from my mother for Camp Boggy Creek. So let me just back up and show you this. There we go. Very, very nice. And this is a granny square blanket measuring 40 inches by 40 inches using various yarns from Stash, which include Red Heart Super Saver, Big Twist, and we also have Loops and Threads Soft Classic. Super, super nice. The hook sizes, plural, were letters I, J, and K, so 5.5, 6.0, and 6.5. Super, super nice. And I'm very happy to report that this is one of two of my mom's final blankets, and they're being donated to Camp Boggy Creek. So there is the first one there. Now, the rest of these are my blankets to Camp Boggy Creek. And without further ado, let's jump into this. We're going to start with my Taco Tuesday. So this past Tuesday, I showcased this. And it's 40 inches by 50 inches. So it's a long rectangle and super, super nice. And the stitch here is 2 double crochets, chain 1, 1 double crochet. You can kind of see it there. And then in the next row, we work into that chain space with the same stitch. So it's 2 double crochets, chain 1, 1 double crochet. And so it was worked back and forth like this. And then we just turn it. And here we have it. Again, 40 inches by 50 inches. Super, super nice. And it's very stretchy. So when I lay it flat and measure it, you get the 40 inches. But when you're holding it up like this, at first glance, it doesn't look like it's 40 inches, but it is. Okay. And all medium 4-weight yarn, I used a 9mm hook, letter M as in Mark. And it's very soft and very squish. Now, I ran 2 yarns together. The first yarn that I ran with this was the Mandala Ombre cake. So I have one here. Going on a field trip, I will show you. So here it is, one of the cakes. So I ran one of these cakes with various yarns from Stash. And this yarn here is very, very soft, and it helped with the squish factor with the blanket. So it's super, super nice. I love this. So again, a very quick make, very easy stitch. And there we have the first one. Now, my mom's blanket, I'm not counting towards my goal. So as of last podcast, I was at 56 blankets. Okay. So here's the first one. And the second one here is a mile a minute pattern that I whipped up very quickly. This is all Loops and Threads Soft Classic in white. And we have another colorway called Spa and purple. And this is 40 inches by 40 inches square. Very, very nice. And so I started the mile a minute in white. And then I have 2 rounds of twins in a stitch. and then 1 round of half double crochet, and then I joined my panels in the same color as the final round, that purple color there. Let me turn it around and show you the other side. You can see where I joined that right there. And then after I joined all the panels together, I went ahead and took that spa color, which to me looks more light blue, but I went all the way around the blanket and did 1 round of half double crochets. Very, very nice. Okay. Next, at long last, my 2-bit granny is finally finished. Oh, okay, I've shown this many, many times. It was slow going, but it's finally finished. 2-bit granny is finished. 40 inches by 40 inches square. This is my perfectly squared granny square. I have a tutorial for this on my channel, and the design here is a 2-bit granny. And the thought behind this is to choose colors from stash, going 2 rounds each color without repeating a single color. And there you have it. And for the final round, I just went around with the granny stitch in black, just to frame it. Very, very nice. Okay. Last but not least, I have a chevron here done in the back loop. Double crochet chevron in the back loop. I used pink and light blue. Super, super nice. And I added rounds. I actually miscalculated the measurements. So at the top and at the bottom, I went ahead and added 3 rows of double crochet, including 1 row here where I had to flatten out my chevrons. So in the peaks, I did single crochet, and then in the valleys, I did an extended double crochet to flatten it out. So that way, after a few rounds, it's, you know, more flat. So yeah, super, super nice. I used all vintage solid yarn for the interior, and then for the exterior, I used my leftover Loops and Thread Soft Classic in white. And I think that this white here is not white. I think it was an ivory colorway. So ivory, pastel pink, and light blue. And I used a 6mm US letter J hook for this. Super, super nice. Okay. So that wraps up the finished objects for the week. So my new total for Camp Boggy Creek is 60 completed blankets with only 16 to go. My goal is 76 blankets. So the whole story behind that was I was at 26 blankets when we learned of Nana June's passing, and her goal was to have 50 blankets donated to Camp Boggy Creek. And so I decided to take on the challenge of adding 50 blankets to my total. Before that, I didn't have a total. So I didn't have a goal. I just wanted to do as many as I possibly could. And at the time, like I said, I was at 26. When we learned of her passing and we learned that her goal was 50, I went ahead and took on that 50 and piled it on to what I already had. So my goal for the season is 76, and I have 16 left. So the goal was to have 76 by December 31st, and I'm happy to report I am going to definitely hit that goal. So yay for us. Yay for the kids. All right, so with that, let's jump into works in progress. And I'm going to start with my knit whip. So I just have 1 knit whip for this week. The other 2 are still being worked on, but no significant progress to report. I am knitting a hat, and let me just show you my progress here. So I'm doing the stockinette stitch in the round. Super, super nice. And I'm using number 13 9mm fixed circular Chowgu needles, red lace. You can see them there. Super, super nice. I cast on 44 stitches, and I'm working the stockinette stitch, and the goal here is to basically repeat the hat that I did last week. So here it is. And let me just unfold this. So I showed this last week on the podcast, and I'm repeating this same exact hat, except I'm making some modifications. So what I'm going to do now is Well, first I'm going to work the stockinette stitch for 6.5 inches, and then I'm going to start my decreases, but I'm going to use DPNs to decrease all the way to the tip of the crown instead of sticking with circulars. I've actually sourced the DPNs I need, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my decreases there, and then I'm going to once again flip the hat, and instead of casting on the needles, I'm going to go ahead and anchor my stitches with a 9mm crochet hook. So I hooked down to an 8mm for this one. I'm going to test this, and I'm going to see if by sticking to a 9mm crochet hook, I get more play with this. It's very, very tight here. So once I anchor on my stitches, I'm going to do several rounds of single crochet in the back loop, and I'm going to fold it over, and we're going to have that look right there. So that's the goal. And the yarn that I'm using is Line Brand Woolies Thick and Quick, and the colorway here is called Wheat. Very, very nice. It's very soft, very squish. So this is a yarn that I've had in stash for quite a while. You can tell by the ball band. This is their older ball band, but love the yarn. Absolutely love it. I've made many projects with this yarn. It comes highly recommended. Each one of these skeins comes to us with 106 yards, 97 meters. It's 6 ounces at 170 grams. It's a super bulky number 6, and the recommended needle size is a number 13 9mm, and for crochet hook, it's a 9mm US letter M as in Mark. Very, very nice. Okay, so there's the first one, and then from here I'm going to jump over to, let's see, I'm going to jump to my luck of the draw. So just yesterday, October 23rd, Tricia, her channel name is Mama Swift, she released luck of the draw number 13, and the week 1 numbers were pulled. Feel free to check out her video to get that number if you're interested in joining luck of the draw. She also speaks about what luck of the draw is and what that's all about. So I'm going to leave that to her. I will link her channel in the show notes for you guys if you're interested. So week number 1 was drawn, and for the first pattern here, I'm going with my Rhythm of Resilience, and here is my week 1 progress. So week 1 color is called Banana Berry. And for this project here, it's going to be all variegated yarn. I've shown it, but I'm going to show it again, just for good measure. So Banana Berry is my week 1 color. And the other colors that I have here are Shaded Dusk. And this one here is called Grape Ivy. Super, super nice. The next one is Mexicana. And then finally, I have this skein here of Artist Print. So these are my 5 colors for this particular project for Luck of the Draw. And as you saw, my base color, my neutral, is white. And with this pattern here, if you're interested in making this for donation to Camp Boggy Creek of 40 inches, 40 rounds is 40 inches with the 6mm US letter J hook using a medium 4-weight yarn. And I say that loosely, so it depends on your own tension. Everyone's tension is different, so approximately 40 inches is the correct verbiage, but that's where I'm at with this one. It's gorgeous. So I started round 1 in my base, and then the next 3 rounds are the week 1 color, or is the week 1 color, and then after that I go back to the V-stitch, and that's where I go back to the base color. So yeah, super, super nice. I do have my cardboard cutouts in the bag. I just have to write all the information on there. So maybe next week I will have all of my yarn on here to show you guys. I like to have that as a reminder so I don't forget any of the things. So there's that. All right. The next one I have here is this one right here. And the pattern here is, I don't want to get the name wrong, Spiketastic Granny Square. So this is a free pattern that is available on creationsbyjax.com. This is her pattern. She wrote it for Luck of the Draw number 13, and it's designed for boggy style. So the yarn that's used here, I believe, is a medium 4-weight yarn. You can use any size of yarn you want. You're going to have to make modifications to make it fit for Boggy Creek, which is what I'm doing here. So I'm using a bulky weight yarn for this particular project, and I have to tell you, it's coming out beautiful. So here is my week 1 progress. Super, super nice. Clearly, it's a little larger than the last one, but that's okay. If I get to 40 inches faster than anticipated, that's perfectly okay too. So I got to tell you, I absolutely love this texture. So my week 1 color here is called Jax. I intentionally made week 1's color Jax because it was designed by Jax. So yeah, my base color is navy blue, and here are the yarns. So we have Jax, we have Hangman, we have Backgammon, we have Checkers, and the last color here is Maze. So these are my colors for this project, not including the base color. I mean, I don't have the base color in my hands right now. Here's the base in navy blue. So, and I'm working this up with a 6mm US letter J hook. So, very, very nice. And as for the first one, I'm working that up with a 6mm US letter J hook as well. It's my go-to hook. I love it. All right, so the next whip that I have here is my Mary Maxim crochet kit. So where's my bag here? Here is the bag. I believe it was a week or so ago I mentioned that I wanted to dig into this and get started. I did a whole video on showcasing my crochet kits. I picked one to start, and this one is it. And let me just show you an image of what this blanket looks like when it's done. Here it is. Country Pathways Afghan. So this one is in blue, mine is in purple, and I am on round number 25. So I'm making some decent progress here. This is my first showing of this. I currently have white on it, and here it is. So far, this is where I'm at. Super, super nice. I love the fillet work in the center. And there's texture here in the corners. I don't know if it's going to pick it up or not, but there's texture in the corners. Is this the right side? Let's see here. Yes, this is the right side. Lots of texture going on there. Very, very nice. So I'm excited to see what happens after this. So I'm about finished with this centerpiece. After this, there's a section that I add onto the top portion and the bottom portion only. So this square then becomes a rectangle. From what I gather, it's going to turn into a rectangle. And then once I add the top and the bottom pieces, I'm then going to go back into the round in a rectangular fashion. So super excited to see what becomes of this. The current round that I'm on is very peculiar because I'm working on the front side, but I'm only picking up the 3rd bar. So that's a new to me situation. So I haven't done that ever before, where I did 1 round of single crochet, and then I'm going back, or actually 1 round of half double crochet, and then for the 2nd round I'm going into that 3rd bar only with a single crochet, and it's creating this texture here. Very nice. And it's not laying as flat as I would like it to, because for the last round where I did half double crochets, every 5th stitch going across was a front post. So I'm going into the 3rd bar of a front post stitch as well as those half double crochets, and it's creating this little ripple there. And I looked very closely at the picture. that picture also has that. So I don't know if it's supposed to be that way or not, but I'm liking it nonetheless. So stay tuned. Every week I will show you my progress, and I think I'm about 1/3 of the way done based on this pattern. So, yep, 1/3 of the way done. So there we have that all done. All right. So from here, I think that's it for the whips. Yes, we are done with the whips. All right. So next we're going to go into the acquisitions. I only have 2 acquisitions. They're small. The first one here I picked up at Michael's. So I had a $10 off coupon, and I had a $10 off coupon, and then in the app there was 30% off any regularly priced item, and so I decided I wanted to try my hand at this. So here it is. This is called a Knit Quick Infinity Loom, and with the $10 off coupon and 30% off, I paid $13 for this. So I don't know the first thing about this, but I'm very interested in learning. I think that it's long enough that I could make a blanket, and what really caught my eye with this is the back here. It says works best with medium to bulky yarns. I love a good bulky yarn, and I have tons of it. So I thought to myself, well, if I could put bulky yarn onto this loom and knit away at it, we'll see what it becomes. So on the inside here, you have a hook, you have that straw, which I think is being used to like wrap around the pegs, and then a booklet which shows you kind of sort of how this all goes. So stay tuned for that. If I make something out of this and turn it into a whip, I'll show it next week. All right. And secondly, here I have a Furls acquisition held in this little itty bitty box that they send. All right, so Furls recently released a brand new colorway of hook. Let's see here. Yes, it is that. So pistachio on their website, check that out. I'm not an affiliate. I just saw something I really liked and needed it, so I grabbed it. Here is the pistachio hook, streamline, 6mm US letter J. Super, super nice. So when they come out with these new ones, I try to get my go-to sizes, which is a 6 and a 6.5, and so that is the case today. So I have a 6 and a 6.5. Now, I don't use these for tutorials because the hook is quite long and the back typically taps on the table. So I don't use these for tutorials, but I do use these for crocheting off camera. So 6.5 US letter K, pistachio streamline. Super, super nice. I love that. Okay. So I'll add these to my collection. I love to collect hooks. It's so much fun. All right, so with that, that is the last of our acquisitions, and we're going to jump into the replay treats. So just to recap with you guys, the replay treats for the last podcast episode, we had Cake and Splash. So we're going to pick the winners for those, and we're going to go to the random comment picker. So I will see you on the other side in just a moment. Okay, everyone, I'm at the random comment picker. I've got the link installed, the boxes are checked, and we're going with Cake first. So I have lowercase and uppercase. We're looking for just one winner. And let's go ahead and get YouTube comments. There we go. How many comments do we have? Let's see. We have 97. Okay, let's pan over to this side, scroll down, and let's select our first potential winner. Good luck. Barb P66. I have 2 great-grandchildren coming in March, so I would use the cake and the splash to make something special for them. Thank you for all you do. Very, very nice. Okay, let's arrow over to make sure that Barb is publicly subscribed to the channel. Okay. Let's scroll down. Barb's comment should be the first one that comes up, and it is. Let's go ahead and click on the image. And Barb is publicly subscribed. Congratulations. Please make sure that you email me at JuanTheYarnAddict@gmail.com with your contact information so that I can get this out to you as soon as I can. With that, let's go back to the random comment picker to select our next winner. Okay, so we're back at the random comment picker. Link is installed, boxes are checked. The word has changed. It's now splash, lowercase and uppercase. I'm looking for just one winner. And let's get YouTube comments. How many comments with the word splash? 104. Nice. Let's pan over and scroll down. And let's click the start button to see who our next potential winner is. Good luck, everyone. And Browning 90. Okay. Great podcast. I would make wearables with the splash and cake yarns. Super, super nice. So let's arrow over to make sure that Nancy, I believe is the name, is publicly subscribed to the channel. Let's see. Let's click the picture. And Nancy is publicly subscribed to the channel. Congratulations, Nancy. Please make sure that you email me, JuanTheYarnAddict@gmail.com, with your contact information to claim your prize. Okay, thank you so much. And with that, let's jump back into the podcast. I'll see you on the other side. Okay, we are back. Once again, a huge congratulations to our two winners. Please make sure that you email me at JuanTheYarnAddict@gmail.com with your contact information so that I can get your prizes out to you as soon as I can. With that, we're going to jump into the replay treats for this podcast episode. And the first one here is a Premier Yarns treat. Here it is. This here is Anti-Pilling DK Colors Batik. And the colorway is called Cloudy Day. Very, very nice. It's an unopened sleeve. I don't want to crack this open, so we're going to try and see what that looks like that. Very, very nice. Each cake offers 383 yards, 350 meters, 5 ounces at 140 grams. It is a DK weight number 3 yarn, and they are suggesting a 4mm US letter G hook. As far as knitting needles are concerned, they're suggesting, let's see here, a US number 6 4mm knitting needle. So this is machine washable and dryable. Very, very soft and squish yarn. Very, very nice. So if you're interested in this treat here, the keyword is batik. So use the keyword batik and tell me what you would make with this yarn. Very, very nice. The second treat that I have here is this. Crinkle alert. So this is Annie's Hook and Needle Kit Club, plastic bag holder, and tawashi. I have no idea what that is, but here it is. And on the inside, you have the recipe, you have the yarn, and you also have these elastic pieces to make what this is on the front. So I think you put your plastic bags in the top and then you pull one at a time out of the bottom there. So yeah, if you're interested in this, the keyword is going to be bag. So use the keyword bag and tell me which one you would do, the knit or the crochet. They give you the recipes for both, but I think only enough yarn to do one, I think. So those are the treats for episode 105. And with that, we're going to jump into the last portion of our podcast, which is Happy Mail. And I have 2 pieces here. And oddly enough, both pieces of Happy Mail comes to me from a member, a viewer, a friend of the channel. Both of these individuals are named Penny. One is Pen, the other one is Penny. So let's jump into the first one. This is from Penny with a Y. And to save us time, I kind of cracked the bag open. There is a card here in purple. Super, super nice. And on the inside here, we have, thank you. I love this. Okay, let's see what this is. Juan, hope all is well behind the scenes. You know, we adore you. Thank you so much. So Brad found something he really wanted to give you. It's so good. Very, very nice. Thank you so much, Penny, for this. So Brad is the husband. So thank you, Penny and Brad. Let's take a look at this. I see my name on a t-shirt. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Excuse me, Juan, your bird feeder is empty. That's so good. I recently told a story about the squirrels in the backyard. I have bird feeders back there. And while the birds are welcome to it, it's mainly the squirrels that eat out of the birds' nests. So this is so funny. I love it. I'm definitely going to wear this a lot. I love this. This is so nice. Thank you so much, Penny and Brad. I love it. Oh, that's great. Okay. The next one here is from Penn. And let's see. Here it is. It's really light. There was a card inside, but it was addressed to me privately, so I read that off camera. Thank you, Penn. I'll reach out separately later. Here it is. And everything is still intact. I haven't touched any of this. So, crinkle alert. What is this? Oh, look at this. I love it. It's a basket. Oh, this is great. Look at that. That is amazing. I see pink wrapping paper down here. It's burning, it's burning. So Penn recently went to a craft fair and there was this basket maker there. And I remember her reaching out to me, asking me if, I wanted to be a part of like a video chat so I could see what they had. And I said, nah, I'm a little under the weather. I still am under the weather, but I said, nah, I'll pass. And totally unexpected. I love this. This makes for a great whip basket. So I love this. Thank you so much, Penn. Definitely appreciate this. The craftsmanship that went into this is amazing. Show you guys up close all of the work that went into that. Very nice. So thank you so much, Penn. All right, I think that wraps up our podcast episode. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure that you do all the things I mentioned in the beginning. And with that, I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye.